What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Vicious here. And I really wanted to review Elden Ring, but honestly, there's so much footage I've recorded, and there's a lot that's going to be happening within the next couple of days. I'm going to be playing DLC characters for Melty Blood. I'm going to be producing some more DNF duel style content, and genuinely, I really don't feel like I can dedicate as much time as I need to actually review this game. And plus, it's kind of like past the point of review for this game anyhow. So I really just wanted to give you some gripes about the game, and honestly, I want to tell you how I'd rate it. And this is not a full review, hence like the terrible editing. I just wanted to talk about the game and the state of the game right now, and how I feel like the state of this game is actually toxic to the video game industry as a whole. And I've organized a couple of videos from my gameplay. This is like early gameplay right here, but I'll give you like some more later gameplay when my build is more fleshed out. But I just want to talk about some of the things about Elden Ring that I don't necessarily love, and things that I think that they can improve on, because honestly, a lot of reviews came out for this game saying it was perfect. I'll give you guys a spoiler alert for my Horizon Forbidden West review. I think that game is a 10 out of 10, but in saying it's a 10 out of 10, I don't think that game was necessarily perfect, in the sense that it cannot be improved in any area. I think you can definitely give a game a 10 out of 10 and still say, you know what, there's a little room for improvement here, but I think the overall vision of the game and the feel and just the serotonin running through your brain, I think that factors a game's like rating a lot. And honestly, when I played Horizon, I felt like it was a great game from start to finish. Elden Ring, not so much. Honestly, since this isn't a full style review, I'll tell you guys right now, I give Elden Ring like a 7.5. A lot of people are saying it's the perfect game and it's a masterpiece, and honestly, guys, this game is not. This game is fun, but besides it being Dark Souls 4 and being open world, it's not really all that crazy. But I'll elaborate further right now, actually. Now, like I said, I think that this game really it's fun, but honestly, the media is making it seem like it's perfect and without flaws. There's quite a few flaws in this game, and I think that the way it tackles the open world aspect is not that good. There are a ton of NPCs in the game. Some of them have quest lines that are just so vague, right? And some of their quest lines are kind of crucial to you depending on how your build is. For instance, there's a witch, her name is Selene. She has a quest line that leads you to some of the most powerful spells in the entire game. And unfortunately, this is not really elaborated to you. She doesn't even speak about it until you meet one of her masters out in the open world, which is pretty missable. And I know that's typical from software fashion, but honestly, in the open world scene, it's really weird to me that they made so many things missable that are crucial, that are like basically crucial to certain builds. And if you haven't seen my Neo 2 review, I suggest looking at that, because I'm a huge fan of making builds. But anyway, yeah, so the biggest problem with the builds and the open world is you never know what you're going to get, so you have to look everything up. And honestly, I think that that's a bad design for a game. My philosophy is, if you have to look up so many things about a game, like if you have to look up 75% of your build on a game, I think that the game is failing you in terms of game design, honestly. And again, I think this is like one of From Software's best games, like top 2 for me, you know. Bloodborne and the Elden Ring, top 2 for me. I still give this game a 7.5. I think Bloodborne's a bit better, because with Bloodborne, at least I know there's some funky weapons. But in this game, I know that there's knives, but the knives suck. And there's only a handful of them. Not even a handful. There's only like 2 of them that are supposedly good. But I'm using 2 of them that aren't that great, I guess. I don't know. But I had to look on Extra Life, is my point. I had to look on Extra Life to even find the knife that's good, the black knife, which is a boss killer. And some people might say, well, why don't you just look around? There's a lot to look around in Elden Ring, and honestly, there's a lot that's discouraging in Elden Ring. You go into some caves in Elden Ring and you fight really tough enemies just to get something that's not for your build, or to get a summon that's not very good. I remember there's one dungeon that you go into, you fight a giant bear, and what do you get from this giant bear? I don't exactly remember. I don't think it was anything that I could even use. And therein lies the problem with the way they've designed this game. Not only that, but the economy system in the game is really bad. The cool thing about Nioh 2 is, in Nioh 2, they have a currency system and they have your level up system. They're two completely different things. One is gold and one is, let's just say souls for time's sake, because I don't remember what they are. I just call everything souls. I call the grace, whatever things you get, the runes, I call those souls as well. So let's just get that out of the way. But yeah, they have this pretty interesting economy system in Nioh 2, whereas in this game, you have to spend your actual level up currency. And I think that that's really whack and it doesn't make a lot of sense. But when you look at the markets, it does make sense because they don't ever sell anything that's of value. A lot of the merchants in the game are pretty much worthless. They don't sell like things as time goes on. Like they don't get new things. And I feel like that's something that FromSoft should have known about beforehand, because in Dark Souls 3 there was an NPC that you found in the first area, and as time goes on, as you beat boss after boss after boss, he gains new things. And this was further amplified in the Cinders mod that somebody had made for Dark Souls 3, where after you pass a certain area, if there's some items that you might have missed, that NPC would get those items and you'd just be able to buy them instead of having to grind for them or look for them extensively. And this is very smart. This is something that I feel like Nioh would do as well. But Nioh doesn't really need to do it because a lot of the weapons are just randomized. But weapons aren't randomized in this game. So again, when you're looking for a certain build, it's really tough to do it. And you have to look it up online, which is honestly not fun. You guys ever look up how to like get the what is it, the Eleonora's wash pole? No, Eleonora's blood pole or something along those lines. Basically, it's a twin blade that's supposed to scale with arcane, which was broken at first because it did not level up properly. That quest line is so vague and it's easily missable. But for somebody who's looking for a twin blade, a blood twin blade build or something along those lines, I would think that that's sort of crucial to them, but they would miss it. They had to be told about it by word of mouth from friends, and then those friends actually looked it up, so there's not a lot of like mystique to the game because of that. And does that make sense to you guys? You have to look everything up about a game before you like proceed any further because your build just won't be strong enough or to your liking. That just doesn't make sense to me. And people are praising the game as if like this isn't a factor. And that's why I wanted to talk about builds, dungeons, and merchants. They're all things that don't feel very cohesive in the world of Elden Ring. In this section, I'm going to talk about hand-holding and how the entire Souls community seems to be hypocrites, because they really like to say that, you're getting your hand held, but a lot of them are actually like getting on Extra Life every single step of the way when they're going through this game so they can figure out where to find the things that they need for their builds, or just where to find certain armor or weapons that they will like. And honestly, I think that if you need to go on a website to find that stuff specifically, the game is really failing you in terms of like keeping you entertained and engaged. If I'm so disengaged from a game that I'm like, man, I need to find out how I can make this game fun for me, and I have to actually like find a weapon that can kill and cleave through anything that I am having trouble with, I think that the game really is failing you. Yeah, you can go anywhere in this game. And again, there's a lot of places you can go. You can go into caves and everything, but the fact that you cannot find most of the things that you need, and this game doesn't quote unquote hold your hand, that it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous notion to me. What games are you saying hold your hand in? Because I think that a lot of the FromSoft community would melt if they had to play Ninja Gaiden Sigma on the hardest difficulty. I don't think they could do it. I think that they would die. I would die too. I think that they would melt under pressure. I don't think that they could play Hell in Hell mode on Devil May Cry very long either, because you get 3 chances to get hit in the entire stage, and the AI is improved from other modes. So you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that people that play Elden Ring are at like the tip top of the industry, and I think that the notion that they could just tell people get good is so stupid, and it doesn't make sense, because again, they are looking up the strats. They don't come up with these things. They don't figure it out. They don't do any of these things that would indicate that they're some sort of savant gamer. They actually get help from their big brother Fextra Life, who plays the game like a month ahead of time and finds everything for them. One more critique, and I'm going to close on this. I think that they've improved co-op a little bit, but it's still really bad in contrast to any other game. So here's my thing. I don't understand why there isn't a proper invite system. The password system works well enough, but why is having an invite so hard? There are some times where I take the password off, and I do that so I can play with other people, right? I take the password off, and I'll forget that I don't have the password on, and I'll be like, where's my partner at? I don't like the password system, and some fighting games do that as well. I don't like it. Just invite people. It's just as simple as that. I don't understand why this is so difficult. So that needs to be improved as far as I'm concerned. And make it so you can opt in or opt out of having invasions. Sometimes you just want to get home from work or school and play a game with your friend and make some progress. And then some idiot comes into the room with like a death glitch exploit that has not been patched in like 5 patches now. You know what I mean? And instantly kills you and instantly kills your buddy, and all your souls are gone. And some idiot without like half his brain is like, get good. But what the fuck? Let me get good while this death exploit exists. I'm sorry, should I use the same death exploit? Should we all be playing the same? Because I thought that you could play this game with any style. You know what I mean? Other than that, I think those are most of my gripes. Weapon balancing is trash, and there needs to be some adjustments made to like the knife, the spear, and other weapons that aren't swords. And great hammers, evidently, because 2 great hammers evidently is super strong. Maybe there's some things that I don't know about. Maybe there's some things that I could be educated about in the comments. But honestly, Elden Ring is not perfect. It has a bunch of things that can be improved, and a lot of those things are kind of like glaring weaknesses to the title. Sorry if I pissed you off, but I still enjoy the game. It's a 7.5, and that's not a bad score. I think that honestly Horizon deserves better, because it's a massive improvement from the last game, and this game is just a different version of Dark Souls 3, if you ask me. It's Dark Souls 4, but you can play in an open world, and I'm not really like, it's not my first rodeo playing an open world game. Sorry, you don't get the oohs and ahs from me. So, not a review, just some gripes about the game. If you liked it, give me a like. If you want to comment, give it a comment. I'd be happy to talk about it with you, and maybe we could get some games in together. Who knows? Anyway, I'm done. Later.